felt like you wanted to stop from judging somebody. Like you can see them and you can see all their flaws, and you're like, man, my brain just goes there. How do I stop doing that? Because you're starting to notice it's affecting you in some way. And that could be from energy. It could be from that you don't want your brain in that chaos of thinking about everything that's wrong with somebody. And all of a sudden, when they're not around, you start speaking these things about, man, I wish I didn't talk so negative. And that's a transition, because I can remember being there at the beginning, like the beginning stage, because when you're around there's just so much energy towards it. There's just so much um, energy in the conversation when it gets really involved. When you're talking with your friend, you're talking about so and so and how they should be living their life, why they're doing what they're doing. And sometimes you'll even notice little whispers. Can you believe that someone did this and someone did that? And it's like a soap opera. That's why we love soap operas. Hi, my name is Rhonda Liebig. I am a vitality coach, and I am bringing in some information about you, connecting with you, moving forward. That's what I do. That's my sweet spot, and I love on it. And I spend time with myself because I'm a very judgmentally person. And I'll tell you what that actually means, because it's not really an exterior thing. It's actually internal work, and it's not about stopping yourself from looking at anybody in a different way. It really is about getting to understand, ourselves more and break generational stuff. So we may have people around us that we were raised around this, and then how do we get rid of it and not judge anybody else for what they're doing, but literally get away from it, not having those conversations. So let's go there. Okay, the first thing is, let me tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story about somebody asking somebody about if they look fat. And and you may be doing this yourself. You'll put something on, you go, does this make me look fat? Or somebody will keep asking you that, and boy, that's a hard one, because that's all based on somebody having the definition of what fat is. And so I'll tell you that story. And then also I'll share with you how to connect with what that is when we go into that judgment space. And I promise you, by the time we're done, within a few minutes, you'll have that connection and some steps forward. And I'm not going to give you step by step, but I want you to see you. And you'll see the capital YOU, because this is really about you and your experience, and that how important you are, how important you are to the equation of everything you do, everything you hear and see and feel is speaking to you and not close. And so I'm coming with you in this experience also of being on thyroid medicine for 20 years and 5 years being off, and going through my journey and healing along the way by learning about emotional things that just get us stuck, and what's gotten me stuck. Okay, so I was at this event a few years ago, and I was hanging out with these really cool, all entrepreneurs doing their business, really talking serious, cool stuff. And I was like, ooh, this is the place to be. Yep, I'm an entrepreneur. This is the beginning of when I was like starting to really acknowledge that what I do, I'm very, very proud of. And it took a moment to get there. So these ladies, I have three ladies. We're sitting at a round table, and we're all having these conversations. And I think we all felt like, ooh, this is great conversation. We need to do this again sometime. And I looked over to the person on my side, and we started having this conversation, and we were just like people judging and stuff. And I think that's kind of what the conversation was about. And she said, well, I have this friend that, she, the other day, like, she doesn't realize, um, I think she said something about her friend's weight. And also she was talking about her weight. Like, I feel like I want to lose some pounds. That's what she was bringing up. And then she was saying, well, I have this friend, she put this outfit on, and she asked me, do I look fat in it? And I said, no, but you know what? She did. And I can't believe that she even asked me that, because I had to tell her no, she didn't. And then all of a sudden, because she's feeling so free and open with her conversation, she was like, "Oh," and you could tell her frequency went down. It's like, she goes, "Well, you know what I mean? Like, I have weight to lose," and she started going into this thing about how she felt about herself and her weight. And I started realizing at that moment that when we get stuck in those spots where we're just saying things, it's wonderful. And whoever you have around you, hopefully they are like in a loving space where it's just like, hey, that's cool. Like, whatever you're dealing with is cool. Because I know that when she got to that next moment, and that's the vulnerability, that all of a sudden felt like, why did I do that? Why did I say that? And you could see it all over her face. And I was just like, yeah, that's interesting. As a health coach, people, talking about this stuff, because I used to talk about it all the time. I'd gain a pound and I'd be like all over everybody because I was concerned, because my exterior was so important to me. Like every little pound, if I gained a pound or 10 or whatever, that I would be sometimes not even wanting to go to parties or gatherings, because I was so concerned that so and so and so and so would notice that I did gain weight. And maybe they did, because I was probably hanging out with people like that. People that really thought about, are you fat? Are you not? Are you whatever? Let's get rid of that story. But the way to get rid of the story is this: looking at ourselves. Not about are we fat or not. Please, I'm not going there at all. But it's that discussion. That discussion is anybody with me on this one? So I'm thinking I'm gonna get this in replay, because I'm not seeing anybody coming in that I can tell. Okay. So when you are noticing that there's moments where you feel like you can see, there's a pimple, there's a blemish on somebody. Oh my gosh, their stomach's protruding today, and your subconscious mind is really going at a person or a group of people that you're looking at, or judging them. Oh, they think they're so hoity-toity, or like they just, they have money and they think they're better than everybody. And like when your brain starts going there, like those spots, that actually is the sweet spot. I believe that when we don't feel so good, that is a sweet spot. That's where we get to say, oh gosh, I feel vulnerable, and I should be thinking about this. Like, I want to sit and take a moment to think about this. When you start reflecting on you and how you feel about you, you'll start noticing that these things that you feel about you are the things that you're really projecting out to people. And you'll notice the conversations that you're having, it's really projecting how you are feeling, because that's where the conversations go. That's where it feels comfortable. So if you get into doing your work, the stuff that makes you feel so at one and at peace in what you work on, for your work, for your business, for you showing up every day, for you being there for your children, your family, your business, if you're going out and doing talks in front of people, how do you want to feel every day? How do you want to help your audience feel? It comes back to you being able to feel that experience so that it projects out to others. And when you start doing that, you'll start noticing that you'll be looking at people in a whole new way, because you're looking at you in a whole new way. And the more that you put your hand on your heart and tell yourself that you love you, not being forced to do it, but starting to reconcile, you'll start looking at your body in a different way. You'll start toning up the body. The body won't be as inflamed and at battle with itself. You'll find points when you used to numb your body by food, by getting into, your phone consistently, but that you'll want to be in life and that energy. And then you'll want to connect with people in their life, in their energy, and what they represent to you. It becomes very special. all the healing that I've done, all the coaching that I do to help get things unlocked and move forward. That to me is what life is about. Hashtag speaker locking arms. That's what I believe we're doing. We're all speakers. We're out there communicating. How do we communicate? It's first, how do we communicate to ourselves? I'm sending you so much love today. And think about that. Think about what's important to you. Think about if you start your morning and you get into that sweet space where you start really seeing yourself, then you will enjoy others around meeting up with you in that type of conversation. It doesn't feel good and it doesn't look good when we talk about others. When we talk about others saying how other people should be living, with others, we want to tell them they look fat. Or like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they look so fat. It's like that stuff just is so painful. And it's a big judgment call because we don't know have even known they were dealing with. And it's learning over the years to hold the space so I can hear, I can ask those questions, and I can be with that. Be with yourself. And see what you're doing. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. I might have had a little glitch in the connection, but it with you. Within your heart, you're working within your body more than the brain. We are trained so much with the brain, with the cerebral from school, that we never learned how to work with the heart and lead with that wisdom and that smarts, because this is another brain and your stomach is also. With a lot of the digestion, let me come in as a health coach, a lot of the digestion stuff going on, we're not listening to this emotional brain. Emotions is a beautiful thing. Emotions doesn't mean we need to be crying and there's drama and stuff like that. Emotions is being able to be with somebody, have the empathy for them, have the empathy for yourself, tell yourself that you love yourself, and know that that energy is like the sexy energy. It's just like roaring, ready to come out. So when you're ready to stop judging, go to you. Go do your morning work. Get in a quiet space. Have an insightful day. Happy hashtag vitality motivation. Enjoy your day. Namaste.